Have you ever met the connector? Well, he ponders, he helps, he creates, he writes, he speaks. He basically connects people and brings them together. I speak about Paul Solano of PS and All Marketing Group. At psandallmarketinggroup.com, you will receive an assembled group of Paul's contacts and connections that cross into many sectors of life. Please contact Paul Solano at 617-240-4130 or psandallmarketinggroup@gmail.com if you are in the market for a wide array of services. Again, please contact The Connector, Paul Solano at 617-240-4130 or psandallmarketinggroup@gmail.com with any questions. And now, here's Paul Solano, the host of Paul Ponders.
Welcome to Paul Ponders. My name is Paul Solano of PS and All Marketing Group, and I may be reached via email at paul@paulponders.com. Thank you for joining me for my foray into podcasting. It is great to be collaborating with my friend and associate Chalonzo Amos of PodPro Entertainment to bring you some fun, exciting, and informative podcasts. For many years, I've been referred to as the Connector, or in Greater Boston circles as the Connector. With psandallmarketinggroup.com, I've created a side gig to connect you and get things done. Please sit back and relax and listen to today's podcast. If you are driving or operating heavy machinery and just listening, then please just listen and stay focused on your task at hand. Thanks again for listening. Enjoy my ponderings. Let #PaulPonders begin.
Greetings, everyone. How is everyone doing? Hope all is well this fine day, and hope everyone is enjoying the new year. It's #PaulPonders. And I want to thank Techie Talonzo in the control room, behind the booth, in the booth, behind the curtain. Thank you, Techie Talonzo and PodPro Entertainment. Thank you for just being here and just being an incredible business partner and friend, and just making this happen as another #Paul Ponders is being presented here. And the recording of this episode, first a shout out to Mr. Scott Albertson, project142.org. Scott is a friend from Connecticut. Project142.org is out of New York City. It's a great organization. Scott is a past guest of Paul Ponders, I believe episode number 17, way back when, last year. Sometime he was on with Paul Sweater, PJ Sweater, Gotham Whale. And that's how I met Scott. And Scott is a true gentleman. He's an incredible individual, great marketing genius, just a true guru, a marketing guru. And he makes it happen. And his project142.org is a great organization. So on the link to this episode, you'll see project142.org. And I invite you to link into that, click into the link, and check out Scott and what he's doing with his dedication around the nation. And Scott just does a great job. So as I started to say earlier, this is an interesting day for me. I'm recording this on 36 years to the day that my mom passed away. And my mom was a great lady, and she is missed 36 years later. You never stop missing your mom. And my mom had some wonderful advice, great words of wisdom that I still carry with me today and have passed along to my daughters. And my mom was a great lady. We used to play whist, I remember whist, kitty whist, and Pokino. So we used to just hang out in the kitchen at our house on Mount Vernon Street and just talk about life. And my mom would sometimes say, life is like a deck of cards. You never know what hand you're going to be dealt in life. And my mom was absolutely right about that. So little did I know that I would be doing a Paul Ponders podcast 36 years later. Just crazy when you think about it, when you think back to life. So I've had an opportunity to think back to what my mom used to talk about, what I've developed and what I've learned through the years. And it's really just great playing the hand that I've been dealt in life. And I think back to those days of whist and kitty whist and even my days at BC, Boston College, playing in the Rat, playing with my commuter friends from Malden. We used to play underneath the sign on the right-hand side with all the commuting kids from Malden and Medford. And I used to look at playing the whist as an elective. It really was. It was my elective in statistics and probability, if you will. Was not part of my major. I majored in history and minored in business, but it's just something that I took that elective in probability and statistics. And I think back to life is like a deck of cards. Well, you never know what hand you're going to be dealt in life. And you have to learn to pick up from that hand that you are dealt. You have to pick up from that deck. You have to shuffle that deck. Now, sometimes you get kind of clumsy and you basically drop that deck of cards and they go all over the place. And sometimes you have to play that horrible game of 52 card pickup. And you have to just put those cards back into a deck and align those cards. Put them in a neat pile. I just learned to pick up from that deck once again. Sometimes when you do fall, you do have to pick up and you do have to just choose another card in life. Yep, you got to do that. You got to deal another hand. Sometimes you have to start all over. Can't be discouraged. You never know what that next hand is going to be. But I think your premise is that you need to play it straight in life. Okay? Play it straight. Okay? Don't fool anyone. Okay, maybe you will be bluffing in life. Okay, maybe you will be bluffing one day down the road. I don't know. What do you think? You got to flush out the situation at hand. You have to look and see what is going on in life. Well, without getting into politics, you got to use the trump card. Someone has the trump card. You got to trump the other players who you're playing against. And again, politics aside, but that is terminology that has come through the playing of cards, playing the deck of cards in life. Well, what about that poker face? Bluffing. Maintaining that poker face. The art of negotiations. Think about it. Just think about that. Sometimes you have a lonely moment and you want to be alone. What about solitaire? You just play. You just see what comes up. See if you could run that whole deck and you can make that happen. Endless upon endless games of solitaire. Think about that. Full House. Not the TV show, but a full house. Everyone is looking for that full house. Not two of a kind, not three of a kind, but the full house. Looking for that royal flush. Not so much the royal PITA, but the royal flush. Everyone wants to come up aces in life, right? What do you think about that? Coming up aces. And my mom would always say she was the queen of the house. And she truly was. I remember that sign, Pa is boss, as everyone knows, but what Ma says always goes. So there's the queen of the house. So that about concludes the end of the deck of cards. Life is like a deck of cards. I want to thank you for tuning in. I think back to Forrest Gump. I always said that life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But let's ponder that. Maybe we could do a segment on life being like a box of chocolates. I'll have to ponder that. That's one nugget for you to think about. Feel free to email me at paul@paulponders.com if you have a subject matter or you want to hear another episode of Life is Like a Deck of Cards. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks again, Scott Albertson, project142.org. And thanks again, Techie Talonzo in the control room behind the curtain, doing a great job with #PodProEntertainment. I'm glad that you are part of the hand that I've been dealt in life. #Indeed. I trust that you have enjoyed #PaulPonders. Again, my name is Paul Solano of PS&All Marketing Group, and I may be reached via email at paul@paulponders.com to do some more pondering. Many thanks to my longtime collaborative friend and associate, Chalonzo Amos of Pod Pro Entertainment, in bringing you our fun, exciting, informative podcasts. You rock, Techie Chalonzo. With PS&All Marketing Group, I created a side gig to connect you and get things done. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me at paul@paulponders.com with any questions. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Paul Ponders. Follow us on Twitter at Paul Ponders Pod. Follow us on Instagram at Paul Ponders Podcast. Thank you again for listening to #Paul Ponders, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our website, paulponders.com, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your ratings and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by Pod Pro Entertainment, #Paul Ponders lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. #the new radio. Until we meet again, my friend, stay well. #Indeed.